Hey guys, I'm excited to say it is that time again, workshop time. We do these things a few times a year, but coming up on August 9th, we kick off our free 5-day online trading workshop called Bridging the Gap. Make sure you're there. These workshops are amazing. You can register at www.tier1trading.com. Hopefully you can attend live, but if not, of course, we'll record each and every session and mail them to you after the close of each day. Again, register for the Bridging the Gap 5-day free online trading workshop, www.tier1trading.com. Not that I don't trust you, Naomi. I don't trust anyone as much as I trust myself. That's not a negative statement, right? I trust myself. Yeah, that's why I'm an entrepreneur. Because I don't trust anyone else. And then I had to learn to trust. Well, actually, here's the funny thing. That's why we'll take a brief kind of pattern interrupt. How many of you guys read the book Cash Flow Quadrant? Right? So cash flow quadrant, again, a brief break, I apologize, but I am random. This is my shiny thing syndrome. Cash flow quadrant put together like a little X like this. And I'm always going to forget how it is. This is employee, and self-employed. And this was business owner and investor. Right? So on the left-hand side of your little X, right, you have employee and self-employed, business owner and investor. And basically the idea is to work your way from the left side to the right side. Now, obviously with employee, what's the negative of being an employee? Again, if you choose to be this way. Nothing wrong with being an employee if you want to be an employee. But I'm talking about people that don't want to be an employee. Right? Employee, you don't really have any freedom, right? You work at the expense of someone else. You have to, I guess you're in control of your own destination, because if you don't want to work, you don't have to work, but then you'll get fired. But you're on someone else's dime, basically. So a lot of people want to work from employee to self-employed, right? And this is where I was, right? Because I'm a control freak, right? I like living and but dying by my own decisions. So if you're self-employed, you are in charge, correct? Did you guys agree? You are in charge. It is your business. You can do whatever you want with your business. Now, the negative side, and this is what I didn't understand until I read this book. What do you think the negative side of being self-employed is? Let's say you are the owner of a shop that sells widgets. Yeah, it's all on you. You're self-employed, so guess what? If you don't work, the shop doesn't work, right? So you don't really have that time freedom, because if you want to take a day off, your business is done. Your business stops, right? If Dion doesn't go and open up the store the day before Christmas, he can't make any money off of it. So you have that cool thing of, hey, I have all this power and in a sense freedom, but that freedom comes at an expense, right? And this is where I was. I was self-employed and I was all excited, like, oh, make my own man, make my own rules, yeah. But then I realized that I was just working really, 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 really hard. And I only, the whole thing, you eat what you kill. I only gained the benefits as long as I continued to work that hard. So you're investing a massive amount of, I guess in the S category, you're investing a massive amount of effort for a massive return, right? So I guess employee, you're investing a little bit of effort for really no return, a little bit of return, a paycheck. Self-employed, you now have to invest a massive amount of effort for what could be a little bit of return, but it could also be a big return, right? So the idea is you want to make work from here to business owner. When you're a business owner, on the right side of the chart now, right, you have employees. Now, Dion has this store. He started hiring some employees for this store. He's hired a general manager that he can trust to run the store. Dion can now take a vacation, and what's still booming? Business, right? Business is still booming because his business can run without him technically being there, right? Now, the problem, this is how we got started. What does Dion have to give up in order to move over to that category? I just said he has to have what? He has to have a store manager. He has to have employees. What does he give up? What is the sacrifice for this freedom? Not necessarily money. No, it could be money because you now you have to pay more people aside from yourself, but you could also make more money because of the pure hours that your business is running, right? I mean, by yourself, if you're opening the store 10 hours a day, but you're closed on the weekends, well, now that you have employees, you can run it 15 hours a day, open on the weekends, right? So you could actually make more money, and you should actually make more money. But you lose control, right? Where before you were at the store, you were hands-on, every decision was right there in front of you. Now you're on vacation, right? You have a store manager, someone you have hired to manage your store. Someone that you hired to be in control of making decisions. You're not as hands-on as you used to be. Now, again, you have the final say. If it's a big decision, obviously that manager should call you. But they're not calling you for every little decision, are they? This was a great example when I got my real estate business. I started off and I was a property manager, right? Because I'm like, hey, I'm not giving no percentage away. I'm a property manager. And then I realized the dark, dark hells of being a property manager. Ring, ring, ring. Hello? It's like 12 o'clock at night. Hello? Hey, Mr. Akil, my light doesn't work. What? My light doesn't work. Can you come over and fix it? You work over, right? You walk over and then you realize it's just not screwed in. And you're like, here you go. All better now. 3 a.m. in the morning. Hey, Mr. Akil, water heater broke. All right, can we wait till the morning? No, the basement's flooding right now. Right? So I'm investing all this effort and energy for what? To save 3 to 5%? But I'm self-employed. I'm making all the decisions. I'm keeping all that extra money. So then eventually I decided to get a property manager, right? Because the time is, when under the impression, or once I came to the realization that time is worth more than anything, right? Property manager, right? You give your property manager, 3 to 5%. Do you get any more calls? No, not unless it's a major call. Like, hey, you want to know the calls I get now? Here are the calls I get now, right? Hey, Mr. Stokes, it's been a year since your tenant's been in here. I just wanted to see if it's okay for the rent increase. Which I translate as, hey, Akil, is it okay to charge more rent? Or when they're searching for a tenant, hey, I know that we were renting it out at about $900 a month last time, but I think we can get about 12. Just want to see if it's okay if we request more rent as we look for new tenants. Yes, you can. Are you asking permission to make me more money? Yes, you can. So that's a different, but you lose a little bit of the control. right? Now, in the real estate, it's a control that I don't mind giving up, right? It's like I don't really care about searching for the right tenant myself. I'm not personally invested in there, but you lose some of that. Maybe you lose some of how do you handle a situation, which plumber do I choose? But even that, you can put in those protocols where it's like, hey, if we have a plumbing issue, I want you to use this person. Typically, they have their own people that they use. That's part of the networking, but you could put in that control. So that's kind of the benefit of moving from self-employed to business. You free up some of that. You free up the time. You free up the hands-offness, but you lose some of that control. And depending on what industry you're in, again, real estate's a tough example. I don't think anyone wants to be in control, but I watched the show The Profit with Marcus Lemonis, and some of these people are designing products. So let's say we're using Dion as an example. Dion is a owner of a shirt store where he's designing the clothing. But now he brings in a new artist to design clothing. That could be a little bit difficult because from up to this point, he made all the designs. It was his baby. Now it's like, hey, there's someone else producing the designs for me as I take on a different role. So it's a pro and a con, but eventually you have to move to that side of the quadrant, to the right side. Now on the other side of that right hand quadrant under B is I, right? I is investing. You have to watch that show. It's a great show. I still learn so much, and it's simple stuff, but I still learn so much, just like about workflow and stuff like that. But I is investing, right? This is what you guys are doing right now. Because an investing or an investor is basically the same as a business owner, right? You're putting your money in the market, right? You're doing the work, you're putting your money in the market, and then you don't your money can make money without you being there, right? We're talking about long-term swing trading, right? You do your analysis, you do your work. Once you enter a trade, then you just let it go. So the I is very similar as well. So I forgot how we got on that conversation, but yeah, that's a Cash Flow Quadrant, good book. Cash Flow Quadrant, good book. It's the difference, yeah, good book. Again, I forgot the whole point on how we got there, but that's what typically happens with my rants. Any questions before we get back into cipher testing? Any questions about the Cash Flow Quadrant, the ESBI, employee, self-employed, business, investor? And understand that you don't have to hire employees with how the internet is these days. The internet can be your employee, right? Let's say we were talking with an example with Naomi before in ebooks. Yeah, virtual assistant. You can right. So Naomi can set up her website where it just does everything automatically. Where as soon as you go to the website, you automatically get a pop-up to buy her ebook for $1. You fill in your information. Does Naomi have to go in there and insert the information herself? No, it does it for you. Right? Does Naomi have to physically go and mail it out? No, she can set herself up with a business that automatically mails it out when the address is. You can set everything up automatically now. Again, it's an investment up front, but these days, the internet can be your best employee. I even considered using secretaries at one point. The virtual assistants where you can set up your own number and they, and it goes to them before they forward it to you. So you can do most of that on the internet these days too, for whatever business you're doing. So you don't have to physically hire employees. You can hire virtual employees, robots, whatever. So that's interesting, just with the advantages we have in technology these days. Look at what we're doing with, whenever we do an event, right? You sign up for the Trading Edge, right? As soon as you enter your email, what's the first thing that happens? You get sent an email, right? Saying, hey, thanks for signing up. Here's the link to log in, right? Is OG literally sitting there typing an email to each and every person that signs up? No, it's all done automatically. Oh, we forgot to tell OG that. Yeah, crap. He has been doing it manually himself. We actually just forgot to tell him that it could be automatic if he just pushed a single button. Sorry, OG.